Previously on the Raw Warzone, the world champion Robert Roode and the best in the world CM Punk went face-to-face after their encounter at Genesis. AJ Styles sent a message to the champion after Roode cheated to beat him for the once vacant gold.
Styles with a phenomenal forearm. Roode turned around, he didn't see it coming. Styles picking up the World Heavyweight Championship, a title that he feels should be his. But of course last night he got screwed over by Robert Roode.
The Eradicator got one step closer to the women's title.
And Rhea Ripley will advance to 2 weeks for a shot at the vacant Women's Championship.
Seth Rollins got his measure of revenge on Raven.
Raven cost Rollins the opportunity, and now Rollins gets his revenge. He broke the candlestick across the skull of Raven. Oh no, not on the outside, curb stomp. Seth Rollins is out for vengeance, he's out for revenge, he's out for blood.
And in the main event, when it seemed CM Punk was about to become world champion, The Miz came down to play spoiler until the Phenomenal One made the save.
Roode now, no, never mind. He was gonna hit Punk with a steel chair, but AJ Styles ran down. Styles coming to the aid of CM Punk. The Miz and the World Heavyweight Champion Robert Roode retreats as Styles comes to the aid of Punk. What does this mean for the world title scene? Find out next week. We are out of time.
Robert Roode is still World Heavyweight Champion. But what is next as he has AJ Styles, CM Punk, and more challengers aiming for his gold? Find out tonight on the Raw Warzone.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from Buffalo, New York, and this right here was the scene earlier on before the show even started. Cameras caught up with Samoa Joe entering the arena, and then Bobby Lashley out of nowhere blindsiding Samoa Joe. Of course, these two have had issues ever since our Genesis pay-per-view where they went into a double countout in the Gold Rush tournament. And well, Joe, he did call out Lashley last week on Raw, and safe to say that these two and their issues is just really getting started now. As Lashley sending Samoa Joe into a car. Lashley is scheduled for one-on-one action later on tonight. Samoa Joe entering the arena, Lashley blindsiding him. And then he put him into the Hurt Lock. Just trying to wear it down and really incapacitate Samoa Joe while Joe was entering the arena before the show even started. And of course, once you're locked into that Hurt Lock, it's going to be very difficult to escape out of it. Lashley willingly lets go just so he could hit Joe with the spear, slicing the Samoan submission machine in half. Bobby Lashley sending a statement to Samoa Joe, well, before cameras even went on the air. And then Lashley walking off. Well, we will see him later on tonight when he's in singles action. But that was earlier on. As we now get onto a live portion of the show, we kick things off with General Manager Nick Magnus Aldis, who announces that we are a week away from our Joker's Wild special edition of Raw, which will see 4 randomly selected tag teams face off against each other in a mini tournament, and the winners of those matches will go on to an 8-man over-the-top gauntlet for the gold match, where the winner of that match will become number 1 contender to the World Heavyweight Championship at our Raw exclusive Vengeance pay-per-view. But we have no clue who the World Champion will even be come next week, because in tonight's main event, that's right, Robert Roode will defend the title yet again this time around. This week, it will be against Seth Rollins. Roode has issues with AJ Styles. Rollins has his issues with Raven. So they gotta put those issues aside and focus on tonight's main event world title match. Along with that, a Fatal 4 will commence just like last week. It's Gigi Dolan, Michin, Chelsea Green, and Indy Hartwell. The winner will go on to face off against Rhea Ripley for the vacant Women's Championship next week on the Raw special, The Joker's Wild. And along with that, the NXT Championship Series will also continue later on tonight as Sami Zayn takes on Santos Escobar. And of course, we also got Bobby Lashley in action later on tonight. But, well, here you go. We're going to kick things off here on Raw. Fatal 4-way action. It was last week Rhea Ripley won her Fatal 4-way, beating Candice LeRae, Becky Lynch, and Bianca Belair. And well, here we go. It's another Fatal 4-way. The winner will face off against Rhea Ripley next week at the Joker's Wild special edition of Raw for the vacant Women's Championship. That's your opening contest. But in tonight's main event, Seth Rollins takes on that man, the It Factor Professional Wrestling, the leader of the Selfish Generation, the World Heavyweight Champion Robert Roode. Roode has held the title since our Genesis pay-per-view, winning the Gold Rush tournament, of course, in the finals, beating AJ Styles. And last week, well, he beat CM Punk by the skin of his teeth thanks to a DQ interference from The Miz, of all people. But here tonight, Roode has to defend the gold yet again, and this time it's gonna be against Seth Rollins. But now we kick things off here with women's Fatal 4 action live from Buffalo, New York. Well, no one really cares about Buffalo. When you think of New York, you think of the city, not the state. Best New Yorkers come from Bronx and Brooklyn. I don't make the rules, I enforce them. But anyway, screw the Bills. Alright, I'm done now. But now here comes the second participant in this women's Fatal 4. It is Michin Mia Yim. Of course, Mia Yim representing the OC, which of course also includes the big LG, Luke Gallows, the Machine Gun Carl Anderson, and of course, former United States champion here in numerous mode history back in 2K20, the phenomenal one AJ Styles. He was in the finals of the Gold Rush tournament, coming up short against Robert Roode. Granted, Roode did need a cheetah win to beat AJ, and then of course, as you saw the recap of last week's show, AJ Styles coming to the aid of CM Punk after the 2-on-1 beatdown commenced between Roode and Miz on Punk. And now here comes the third entrant in this matchup. And while advancing across these last 2 weeks, all 8 women on the Raw Women's roster has been showcased.
From Victoria, British Columbia, Canada, Chelsea Green!
Rhea Ripley winning last week. Who will win this week? Who will go on to face off against Rhea Ripley for the vacant Women's Championship at the Joker's Wild? Find out when we return on Raw. And so we are back here with the live action while we are in break. Indy Hartwell, the final entrance matchup, made her way into the ring, and so there you see the 4 women showcased in this Fatal 4. Last week, half of the women's division was showcased. Rhea Ripley, again the best of Bianca Belair, Candice LeRae, and Becky Lynch. And this week, here's the other 4 showcased. The complete women's division has been showcased across the last 2 weeks, and Gigi Dolan, well, the running knee strike off the ring apron to Chelsea Green. Chelsea was showboating to the crowd. And, you know, admittedly, it was very smart. She just escaped from the rest of the crowd earlier on in this matchup. But Gigi saw her, and now just going to take her out, throwing her into the ramp. And well, this right here, of course, Fatal 4 is no disqualifications. You could bring weapons if you want to, and that right there is exactly what Michin is doing, as Chelsea going to start making her way back to the ring. And oh, she just got cracked across the skull with a steel chair from the First Lady of the OC, Mia Yim. And now Michin Mia Yim just laying down the chair shots to Chelsea, and now going to make her way into the ring here. Triple threat situation here. Chelsea better try and get inside this ring, you know, to avoid a pinfall being made. And oh, more steel chair shots, this time to Indy and Gigi. Indy dodging the strikes of Michin though. And now Indy Hartwell short on there. Of course, Indy Hartwell representing the way with John Gargano and Dexter Lumis and Candice LeRae. And you gotta wonder, while Candice lost last week, can Indy Hartwell win this week? And at least make one member of the way get on to the women's title matchup next week in our Joker's Wild special event against Rhea Ripley. That's now quickly into a cover right now is Indy, and Michin making her way around it, breaking up the count. Every woman for himself in this matchup. Granted, you could try and team up to incapacitate, you know, 1 or 2 other people to make a favorable matchup for yourself, to be honest. And no, Pele right there after the amazing striking combination from Mia Yim and Gigi was taunting to the crowd. That's now Chelsea and Gigi and Michin all just completely brawl between each other. And he gets back inside the ring. And oh, back elbow right there by Chelsea. Indy taking down Chelsea Green. And now Michin, once again, the combination of strikes. And then, with that Pele, cracking Gigi Dolan across the skull. And oh, front drop kick by Indy Hartwell. Completely chaotic. Lots of moving pieces here. But oh, running big boot right there. As Chelsea, oh god, Michin dive in with the tope suicida, taking down Chelsea Green. And now, as Gigi lays Chelsea away, break your neck by Michin. Gigi Dolan having her way with Chelsea Green in that steel chair. Chelsea's been incapacitated, so has Indy Hartwell. And oh, Michin, eat the feet. Mia Yim hits the eat the feet on Gigi Dolan. Oh, the other women are down, and Mia Yim picks up the victory. All you need is a split second and opening And that right there is exactly what Mia Yim just got. And so just like that, next week at our one night only Joker's Wild special, Rhea Ripley meets Mia Yim for the vacant Women's Championship. Who will become Women's Champion between those two? Mia Yim had the opening, taking down Indy Hartwell with a break your neck, then the defeated Gigi Dolan after Gigi got rid of Chelsea from the equation. And Mia Yim, the First Lady of the OC, advances to next week. Big time victory. And well, congratulations to Michin, but if anything tonight, your main event, the World Heavyweight Championship, is on the line. The It Factor Professional Wrestling Robert Roode against the Architect Seth Rollins. Rollins has been preoccupied with Raven the last couple weeks, and Roode, he's been preoccupied with not only both CM Punk but also AJ Styles, the man he beat to become World Heavyweight Champion a couple weeks ago at our Genesis pay-per-view in the finals of the Gold Rush tournament. Who will walk out the World's Champion, Rollins or Roode? But along with that, last week the NXT Championship Round Robin Series commenced, and this right here was our first matchup of the week last week. And after Imperium causing the distraction on Ricochet after Ricochet had a roll of momentum against Gunther, able to blindside Ricochet while he was distracted, folds him up like an accordion with a powerbomb, and Gunther getting the first 2 points of the Round Robin Series, getting the 3 points from the pinfall victory. As you see right there, Gunther has 3, Ricochet has 0, and of course there's the key for all the points that you could possibly get for every possible outcome. As we now go into our second match of the night and the second match of the NXT Championship Round Robin Series, Sami Zayn taking on Santos Escobar. And of course, Sami Zayn came up short a couple weeks ago back at our Genesis pay-per-view. The man he lost to in the quarterfinals of the Gold Rush Championship Tournament was none other than our current World Heavyweight Champion, the It Factor Professional Wrestling Robert Roode. Roode blindsiding Sami Zayn during his entrance, getting a head start, not to mention also throwing him head first into the exposed turnbuckle and following up with a glorious DDT to advance to not the semifinals, but immediately into the finals because of the double countout from Bobby Lashley and Samoa Joe in the quarterfinals. That will have given the winner of the Sami Zayn and Robert Roode matchup a bye directly into the finals. And Roode was able to get that bye, beating Sami Zayn, but Sami looking to recuperate, and he could do so in this big time matchup against Santos Escobar to get the first points of the NXT Championship Series. As now Zayn gets sent to a corner, nope, gets the elbow up, clocking Santos right in the face, and now from the go behind, and sends Santos into the corner, and now a couple of strikes across the jaw, the rough boots, and follows it up, the face wash, followed by just a big boot down into the face of Santos Escobar. Now sent from second rope, and no! Santos saw it coming, and we got the way. And Electra Lopez bring the chair into the ring right there, trying to distract the referee. Potentially, not gonna work out though for Santos, because Sami has the leg now, and Dragon Screw leg whip. Sami Zayn able to catch Santos off guard, and oh, speaking of being caught off guard, Electra Lopez now with the distraction on Sami Zayn. That's what the steel chair was for originally. Sami didn't fall for that one, but he's gonna fall for the distraction. Schoolboy roll up here. Can Santos get 3 points in the series? No. Sami kicking out at 2, and oh, pop-up dropkick right there, taking down Santos Escobar. And now bringing down a snapmare and double axe handle right to the trapezius muscle of Santos Escobar. And Sami now, oh, here he goes, spins him around, blue thunder bomb. Sami Zayn to get 3 points on top of Gunther in the NXT Championship Series, and no, only 2. Santos staying alive here in this contest. And now Sami, you gotta think, trying to think of something else to do. Oh, Santos was playing possum right there. We get the feet across the chin, and oh, Hurricane Rana taking down Sami Zayn now, and Santos Escobar here looking to get a victory in this NXT Championship Series. Shot to the chest. And now getting sent Sami on the ring apron. No, to the outside. The hard landing right there for Sami Zayn. And now the Emperor of Lucha Libre, Santos Escobar. Tope Suicida. connected with it perfectly to Sami Zayn, and Zayn, well, he's in trouble now. Santos now. Here we go. Springboard, and oh, Sami gets out the way. Just in time, Sami Zayn getting out the way. In the last split second, from the springboard crossbody in the corner, haluva kick. I think he just kicked Santos Escobar's head into the third row. Elektra Lopez watches on. 2 and 3. Sami Zayn picks up 3 points with a pinfall victory over Santos Escobar. And Sami Zayn will now tie Gunther as they both have 3 points in the NXT Championship Series. That right there is the turn point of the matchup. Santos Escobar had Sami Zayn right where he wanted him. Went for the springboard crossbody. Sami only got the way in the last second. And then a split second right there, the haluva kick clocking Santos Escobar, knocking him out cold. And just like that, Sami Zayn with the pinfall victory gets 3 points in the NXT Championship Series right there. He is now tied with Gunther. A big-time victory for Sami Zayn, and ladies and gentlemen, I can now confirm that next week, a part of the one-night-only Joker's Wild special event, Sami Zayn will be one of the 16 men in the Joker's Wild, along with Gunther, Ricochet, and Santos Escobar. That's right, all 4 men, a part of the NXT Championship Series, will also be a part of the Joker's Wild as we go backstage here. And it's the OC celebrating, well, of course, the first lady of the OC in Michin Mia Yim. The Big LG Luke Gallows, the Machine Gun Carl Reigns, and they are happy for Mia Yim. Mia's saying it's about time. She's been underestimated and overlooked for far too long. Next week it'll be her time to shine, and next week the women's title will be hers. But this does pose, well, she does actually pose a good question. Where is AJ Styles? Gallows and Anderson are there celebrating with Michin, not AJ. And well, the Big OG, he just gave us our answer right there. Styles trying to look for Gen Manager Nick Magnus Aldis. Well, of their history, I'm not too sure how that's going to work out. But regardless, we now go to another part backstage as our broadcast colleague Jackie Redmond is here with Rhea Ripley. Rhea, well, saying she could care less about who she faces next week. Last week she made quick work of 3 other women and punched her ticket to the Joker's Wild special event next week. And, well, she doesn't really take Michin as a threat. Next week she might as well just be handed the women's title. Well, she did say that last week as well. Rhea Ripley really thinks that she should just be handed the women's title on a silver platter. Well, if anything, this is her division, and the Eradicator runs Monday Night Raw, and come next week we will all see that. Well, Rhea Ripley, similar to last week, very confident at her chances of becoming women's champion come next week at her Joker's Wild special event. And now the in-ring action continues, and here's John Gargano, and oh man, he's got a tough test ahead of him in a matter of moments, because he drew a very unlucky number. He is going to go one-on-one in a matter of moments against Bobby Lashley. And of course, we saw the video footage at the top of the show, and wait a minute, this is backstage here, and oh my god! Who the hell is that? Well, that's AJ Styles that just got driven through that table by this just masked man. Of course, we do know that Styles was gonna meet with GM Nick Magnus Aldis, but on the way to his office, he's got blindsided by a very tall individual in a hoodie. Who the hell was that? Well, we know it's not this man, that's for sure, because he's right here. Walking Armageddon, the Destroyer is here. But we gotta go back to what we just saw a couple seconds ago during Johnny's entrance. A live feed pulled up, and we see that AJ Styles was on his way to Gen Manager Nick Magnus Aldis to his office, and blindsided, attacked by that individual in a hoodie. Got no clue who the hell that was. Attacking AJ Styles out of nowhere. Well, we gotta hope that officials are back there now tending to AJ Styles. Backstage is very chaotic this week. Of course, first off, courtesy of that man Bobby Lashley attacking Samoa Joe before the show went on the air. And just now, AJ Styles being attacked by that man in the hoodie. Well, anyway, we gotta focus here on the in-ring action right now. Lashley versus Gargano. Here we go, and Lashley, oh wow! Immediately going for the spear. Gargano saw it coming, plants him down with the DDT, and now here we go. Rolls him up for the cradle. Can this be it? No. 2, and only 2. Gargano almost pulling off the element of surprise on Lashley, and once again, trying to steal 1-0. That one wasn't even 1 count. Lashley says he's not happy. He was immediately going for a spear, looking to just make quick work of John Gargano. Gargano saw it coming, quick reaction time, able to reverse it with the spear, and now Gargano here on the offensive, sending Lashley to the outside. Gargano, a true underdog, always had a fight from underneath, and now here we go, Tope Suicida. It would be a major upset if Gargano could defeat someone as accomplished and as just completely massive and intimidating like Bobby Lashley. Gargano has overcame the odds before. Can he do it again? And now has him. Crucifix cover here. Center of the ring. Is Lashley done for? Rod Zapata only be able to count 2. John Gargano here. Catching Lashley off guard. Oh, well, never mind. Commentator's curse. Headbutt right there from Lashley. And now, wait a minute here. Oh, God. Has Gargano Dominator. That may be it. Plants him down with the Dominator. Only 2. And Lashley, relatively surprised, it's gonna, well, Gargano has a lot of heart, has a lot of resiliency. To kick out the Dominator, and clearly Lashley is not happy about that. I'm pretty sure Lashley is still heated from Gargano reversing the immediate spear attempt into a DDT. And now Lashley here, looking for a pump handle of sorts, maybe a pump handle power slam. But Gargano now, sending Lashley off the ropes, rolls him through, and, kicker to the chest right there. And plants him down with the elbow drop as well. Gargano doing very good here against Bobby Lashley, staying on the offensive. Just an offensive fury of maneuvers here, and it's working out pretty well to his advantage. And now the strength of Gargano here. Long dart to the Almighty, the Destroyer, Walking Armageddon. He has a lot of cool nicknames. That's besides the point. 2, and only 2. Gargano here. Gotta keep on the offensive, and that's exactly what he's doing now. Calling Lashley up to his feet here. What could he be looking for? Looking to crown him, and spear in midair. Gargano was going for a double axe handle, and in the second that he was in midair, Lashley able to adjust on the fly, plants him with the spear, and that's it. And just like that, in the blink of an eye, all Lashley needs is one single opening to win the matchup on the flip of a dime, just like that. Gargano almost had Bobby Lashley. If you ask me right there, Gargano was awfully close to having a major upset victory. But look at this. From the top rope, double axe handle, and then gets caught, sliced in half in midair with that Bobby Lashley spear. And then after that, it's just academic basically. Lashley gets a victory, and wait a minute, that's Samoa Joe! Joe sweeps out the legs from underneath of Lashley. Lashley falling face first into a turnbuckle pad. And now, we're getting a sight similar to what we saw earlier on in the night, and also a couple weeks ago at our Genesis pay-per-view, after these two men went to a double countout in the Gold Rush Tournament quarterfinals. And now, Lashley being sent into the corner. And oh boy, the Samoan submission machine. He has the Almighty up. Muscle Buster. Down goes Walking Armageddon. Joe doesn't forgive, he doesn't forget. He said it last week in his interview with William Regal backstage. If Lashley destroys, then Joe simply tortures. And Lashley now. Oh boy, Joe's not done yet with him. Again? A second one to Bobby Lashley? I can't believe it, another muscle buster. Lashley got a one-up on Joe at Genesis after the countout draw, and also before the show started earlier on the night. But here tonight, Samoa Joe gets his revenge. The chaos continues. And so we're back here on the Raw Warzone. This right here is alternative footage of what happened, of what we saw earlier during Johnny Gargano's entrance. It was interrupted by this live feed of this masked man in a hoodie attacking AJ Styles, launching him through that table, cracking him across the head with a steel chair. Wearing a ski mask and a hoodie, it is impossible to know who this masked man could possibly be. Is he on the roster? We have no clue. Regardless, we have to move on as we are now backstage with our broadcast colleague William Regal as he interviews Candice LeRae. He wants answers for what Candice did to Becky Lynch last week after their Fatal 4 match. And well, it's clear that Candice feels like she should be the one in the women's matchup next week, and she calls herself the best female wrestler on Raw, and sure as hell the most deserving. Well, that right there is arguably up for debate. You know, she didn't win the Fatal 4 last week. It was Rhea Ripley. But now, well, Candice coming off as awfully bitter here in terms of Becky Lynch. Safe to say, Candice LeRae kind of sick and tired of the opportunities that she feels like Becky Lynch has had. And now Bianca Belair. Well, it's safe to say that Bianca is already sick and tired of Candice and her complaining. They both had the opportunity to advance, of course, in that Fatal 4. They both failed. Bianca does bring up a point. However, as far as Candice is concerned, she is the one that lost the matchup. So if they are technically all losers by Bianca's definition, Bianca is the biggest loser. Well, Candice just scorched earth right now. She just hates anyone and everyone from the looks of it. And Bianca obviously not going to take that too kindly, challenging her to a matchup right here, right now. Give her your best shot, Candice. It could be impromptu, backstage in front of William Regal. And Candice, well, she does kind of have John Gargano. Gargano did get sliced in half with a spear, but Candice leaving the scene. Bianca wanted to fight. Candice not gonna give it to her here tonight. And there you see the best in the world, CM Punk. It was last week where The Miz cost him the World Heavyweight title. Punk had Robert Roode down for a count until The Miz, of all people, came down, cost him the DQ, and then costing Punk the World Heavyweight title. And it is now confirmed for next week at the one night only Joker Squad special event. CM Punk will be a part of it. He'll be one of the 16 men in that tag team tournament, and some way, somehow, him and Miz are paired up. He will leave The Miz toothless and in a hospital bed ahead of the 8-man over-the-top gauntlet. Well, Punk has his sights set on The Miz, but of anything now, we would take a special look at our World Heavyweight Champion, Robert Roode. A tremendous video package look at our World Heavyweight Champion Robert Roode, and if anything now, it's now finally time for your main event here tonight on the Raw Warzone. It is the Architect Seth Rollins going one-on-one against that man right there, the it factor of professional wrestling, the leader of the generation of selfishness, the most selfish man in all of professional wrestling today, the World Champion Robert Roode versus Seth Rollins. That is your main event, and it begins now here on the Raw Warzone. The story so far is as follows. We had the Gold Rush Tournament, the 8-man tournament for the vacant World Heavyweight title at our Genesis pay-per-view. Seth Rollins was the first matchup, facing off against Kevin Owens in the quarterfinals, and then suddenly during the matchup, lights went out. Raven, well, he attacked Rollins. We didn't know at that time, however. All we know, once the lights went out and came back on, Rollins was laid out. Owens took advantage, got the pinfall victory, advanced to the semifinals. Then after a matchup, Raven came in masked, attacked Rollins with the Singapore cane, laid him out with the even flow DDT and unveiled himself. Raven is back here in the WWE, and for some reason he's targeted Seth Rollins. Then he was scheduled for an in-ring segment last week on Raw to explain his actions. He was gonna have mic time. Rollins didn't want to hear any explanations. Came down once Raven was in the ring, attacking Raven, laying him out with a Singapore cane, getting some semblance of revenge, and planted him face first down on the floor ringside with a curb stomp. So Rollins got his revenge on Raven last week, and that begs the question now ahead of tonight's main event, as Rollins is now given a fair shake at the World Heavyweight title because Raven's screwing Rollins out of the gold in the 8-man Gold Rush quarterfinal matchup against Kevin Owens at Genesis. Tonight Rollins gets a fair opportunity, a one-on-one shot against that man right there, the it factor of professional wrestling. He is off the chain, and he is the top man here on Monday nights. He is Robert Roode, the leader of the generation of selfishness, beating AJ Styles in the finals of the Gold Rush tournament in the main event of Genesis 2 weeks ago, and then retained the title against CM Punk, of course courtesy of disqualification, thanks to The Miz running down and attacking Punk while Punk had Roode pinned down after the GTS. And well, if anything, you gotta wonder, where the hell is Raven? Ahead of Rollins' world title opportunity, where is he? Haven't seen him at all tonight. Don't even know if he's in the building here and not in Buffalo, New York. But we do know who is in the building. The man in the center of the ring right there. The crowd still chants Glorious. They really miss that theme. That's not the theme anymore, but they keep chanting it. Ignore that. But anyway, some will say Robert Roode become world champion. It was a fluke. He went by on the bye given to him, courtesy of Samoa Joe and Bobby Lashley, getting double counted out in the quarterfinals. So all Roode had to do was beat Sami Zayn in the quarterfinals, which he did. Of course, getting a head start, ambushing Zayn before the bell, and also cracking him across the skull. Well, planting him face first onto the exposed metal ring behind the turnbuckle pad, the exposed turnbuckle, and then the glorious DDT. And then Roode got the bye straight to the finals, skipping the semifinals entirely. But regardless, enough of that. There you see the challenger, Seth Rollins, former world champion here in Universe Mode. Back in our first season in 2K20, former Universal Champion. He lost the title to Mark Henry at the One Night Stand Extreme Rules event. And well, Robert Roode back in 2K20 when we first started Universe Mode. Well, uneventful really. I remember he was in a 6-man battle royal to become number one contender for the United States Championship to face off against AJ Styles for a US title at our Money in the Bank pay-per-view. He came up short in that one. The winner of that matchup ended up being the Samoan submission machine Samoa Joe, and Joe would later then lose to AJ Styles at the 2K20 Money in the Bank pay-per-view. That same Money in the Bank pay-per-view, Seth Rollins retained his Universal Championship over current WWE Champion of SmackDown, Drew McIntyre. Anyway, enough of the 2K20 Universe history. We didn't do 22 and 23. We were on a hiatus at that point, but that's beside the point. Anyway, we're here in 24. We'll be here in 25. Let's focus on the action. And Roode now immediately just stomps and the kick to the chest, and Rollins jacks the jaw of the World Heavyweight Champion. Snapmare now, and double axe handle. I think that was to the top of the dome piece right there. Not sure if that was completely by design, but effective nonetheless. And X Factor. Shout out to X-Pac. And Roode now groggy after that one. Maybe not though. And now laying down the right hands here to the side of Rollins. And catches him in between the eyes with that one. The leader of the selfish generation is our World Heavyweight Champion, ladies and gentlemen. And oh boy, he is so insanely selfish, so egotistical. Most selfish man in wrestling today. But who cares, because he's our world champion. That makes him arguably the best in the business. Holding, if you ask me, the most prestigious championship in the history of pro wrestling. Held by greats such as Dusty Rhodes, Ric Flair, hold that thought. Schoolboy roll-up here by Rollins. This could be it, 2 and only 2. Triple H, Kevin Nash, the Icon Sting, even Hogan, who's of course aligned with Drew McIntyre over on Friday nights. Held by a litany of Hall of Famers, Robert Roode, now a part of that history, holding the World Heavyweight Championship. And I'll chop to the chest right there, multiple. And now gonna send Roode, gonna send Rollins then into a corner back elbow. Robert Roode in control here. He was in control, feels like for the majority of the matchup against CM Punk last week, at least in the early stages of last week, until CM Punk, was able to get a few moves and momentum going. Planted down Roode the elbow drop. Roode able to kick out that one, had a suicide dive as well. Knee into the corner, followed by the short arm lariat. Covered by Roode, only a 2 count. Punk really had Roode on the ropes towards the end of the matchup last week, hit the GTS, and then of course the Miz came down, tossed in the matchup. And well, ladies and gentlemen, next week the one night only special, the Joker's Wild special event of Raw, and springboard knee strike by Rollins, who will be World Heavyweight Champion coming into the match, the Joker's Wild special event next week. Will it be Roode? Will it be Rollins? Whoever loses this matchup, I can now confirm, will be one of the 16 men in that Joker's Wild Tag Team Tournament. As after a sling blade now, Rollins has Roode. This could be it here. Has him. Pedigree. Plants him down. Can Rollins become World's Champion headed into the Joker's Wild next week? 2 and only 2. John Cone getting awfully close right there to count in 3. Roode senses he's in trouble. The flurry of strikes, and then the sling blade, and then the pedigree, and now Roode here seems out of it. Rollins now looking to pick up steam, perhaps from center of the ring. Tope con Hilo. Oh my God, he got that one perfectly. Planting down Roode, landing on Roode, and the World's Champion, well, he's in trouble right now because the Architect is looking pretty damn good. Former Universal Champion, looking to become World's Champion once again. And went for a crossbody. Roode catches him in midair, switches him to a fireman's carry position. The Roode Bomb. Haven't seen that maneuver in a while. Plants him down with the Roode Bomb. Eyes got nostalgic, and only 2. Robert Roode almost having Seth Rollins right there, catches him in midair, plants him down with the Roode Bomb. Does not give him the 3 count, however. As now Roode gonna send Rollins into the corner now. Roode gonna stay on the offensive here against the Architect Seth Rollins. And Rollins getting caught in the head yet again. And oh boy, from the high rent district and superplex center of the ring, lands Rollins. He's feeling the effects of that one, and now quickly shoots the half this Robert Roode, rough form across the face, 2, and whoa. Rollins barely getting that shoulder up. John Cone able to see it, playing possum, victory row, Rollins here to steal 1 and only 2. Oh boy, barely getting the shoulder up, victory row, and now the sling blade. And here, I think maybe he's going for another pedigree right there. Roode able to see it coming, plants him down with that clothesline. Rollins almost caught Roode off guard with that victory row, but now, just like that, Robert Roode taking back control in the flip of a dime, just like that. Turns him around right there. And now, gonna bring Rollins up and plants him down with that shin breaker. And knee drop to the grounded Seth Rollins. Robert Roode wants to remain World Heavyweight Champion. It's pretty damn obvious, working on the trapezius muscle, but Rollins able to get the rope break at the bottom right there almost immediately. And the Architect, he's in trouble here. Roode turns him around. Was looking for a double X handle, but no. Rollins able to reverse it, and catches him in the gut. Here we go. Another pedigree. Pedigree yet again. Planting down Robert Roode, and Seth Rollins here. He has Roode here. He's calling up Roode, and Roode rolling on over to his back. I don't think Roode even knows where the hell he's at. He's dazed. And Rollins trying to force him up here, trying to call him up for a curb stomp, and Roode, he's not answering. He might be out cold. And wait a minute, that's Raven. Raven just ran from the barricade jumped over the barricade, and now he's distracting Rollins. And Roode finally able to awaken up. Finally able to regain the energy to get back up to his feet. After the clothesline to the back of the head. Glorious DDT. Rollins was setting up for a curb stomp. Then he gets distracted by Raven. And Roode senses the opening, taking advantage of a clothesline. And not one, but now two glorious DDTs. Not this way, no. Did he just escape with it again? He did. The most selfish man in all of professional wrestling has done it again. Cheating to beat Sami Zayn in the quarterfinals of the Gold Rush. Low blowing AJ Styles and hitting him with a steel chair in the finals of the Gold Rush. At the Genesis pay-per-view, win by disqualification, well, if anything, losing by disqualification, retain the world's title as a result. Last week against CM Punk, thanks to interference from The Miz, and now here thanks to Raven. Robert Roode walks out world's heavyweight champion, and Raven now sitting across. Very familiar sight right there of Raven sitting down near the bottom buckle as he stares down just a weakened, a bruised, a battered Seth Rollins, who he just screwed out of the World's Heavyweight Championship. According to Raven, Rollins, he's not a leader or a visionary, he's a puppet dancing to the strings of his own insecurities. He dyes his hair, changes his wardrobes, his alliances, and his soul, all just to feel whole. Yet, he cannot fill that void even with gold around his waist or the adulation from the crowd, or at least according to Raven, the mindless sheep. Visions fade, they rot just like his hollow empire will rot when Raven burns to the ground. He will infuse new life into Rollins. Raven doesn't want Seth's kingdom, he wants his suffering. He wants his tears to fall like rain as he rips away everything that he cherishes. If Rollins' destiny is written in stone, then simply put, Raven is the eraser, he is the chaos to his fragile order. And when he's done with Rollins, he'll realize that his vision was nothing more than a nightmare he can't awake from. And yet, soon enough, Raven will make Rollins see the light. And so it is written, and so it shall come to pass, quote the Raven, nevermore. It's safe to say the issues between Raven and Rollins are truly just getting started. He will infuse new life into Rollins. He will make him see the light. In a way, it sounds like Raven's trying to expose Rollins to being a fraud. Well, Raven's issues with Rollins, they clearly run deep. And I don't think we have all the answers yet. Ladies and gentlemen, Raven is the chaos to Monday Night Raw's fragile order.
Next week in the Joker's Wild Special Edition of Raw, who will walk out the Women's Champion? Rhea Ripley or Mia Yim? Plus it'll be 16 men chasing after one shot at glory as the Joker's Wild Tag Team Tournament will commence, with the winners going into an 8-man over-the-top gauntlet, who will go on to face the World Heavyweight Champion Robert Roode for his gold at Vengeance. Find out next week on the Joker's Wild.